Hi everyone, it's Miss Owen here at BMS, and today I'm going to show you how to divide monomials and how to simplify them. So let's look at our first equation. We have c to the 7th divided by c to the 4th. So what you do is you subtract the smaller exponent from the larger one, and I'm going to show you why. Because c to the 7th is really like c times c times c 7 times. Okay, and c to the 4th is like c times c times c 4 times. And so what happens is we can cancel out this c with this c, and so on. And we are left with 3 c's on the top, so it's c cubed. Now you wouldn't want to do that if your exponent was a lot larger. You would want to just use the rule. And so the rule is to subtract the smaller from the larger. So we're going to subtract 4 from 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. So we have c cubed. Let's look at the next one. A to the 3rd divided by a to the 8th. So imagine in your mind that you have a times a times a in the numerator and a times a 8 times in the denominator. How many a's would be left over and where? So if we have 3 a's on the top, we're going to have an 8 on the bottom, we're going to have 5 a's left over in the denominator. So using our rule, we can subtract the smaller from the larger. So 8 minus 3 is 5. The numerator is going to stay 1 because everything in the numerator canceled. So our answer would be 1 over a to the 5th. Okay, and then the next example, x to the 5th divided by x to the 5th. So imagine in your mind you have 5 x's in the numerator and 5 x's in the denominator. What happens with those x's? Well, they cancel. So you would be left with just 1. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more complex problems. So look at example 4. We have negative 12r squared s over 20rs squared. So we want to be able to simplify the negative 12 and the negative 20 first, our coefficients. So what factors can go into negative 12 and negative 20? So we know that these are both positive because 2 negatives make a positive. And then it's going to be 4. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 20 5 times. Then remember our rules like we did over here. This r squared means like r times r on the top, and it's going to cancel out with one of these r's. So this r squared, r is going to cancel out with this r squared. And then we have s on the top and s squared on the bottom. So one of these s's on the bottom is going to cancel out with that s. Then we're left with our numerator, 3r, over our denominator, 5s. And I would recommend, when doing these problems, to use a different color. Using a different color, oftentimes, it helps you to see what you're canceling, so you're not using the same color and getting confused. So let's look at the next one. 28cd cubed over 21bd squared. Well, what do they both have in common? The 28 and 21 both have a 7 in common. So 28 divided by 7 is 4. And 21 divided by 7 is 3. Now I look to see, can I simplify anything with c's? Well, I don't have a c in the denominator, so c is going to stay. And then I look, b's, nothing, I can't simplify anything with b's. Now I have d cubed over d squared. So imagine in your mind you have 3 d's in the numerator and 2 d's in the denominator. What's going to be left over when you cancel them? Well, there's going to be 1 d left over in the numerator. So I can cancel out this d squared and leave just 1 left over. So my answer is going to be 4cd over 3b. Okay, so let's look at another one. We have the quantity of 2ab squared over 2ab squared. Well, this quantity 2ab squared, first we need to go ahead and solve it. So 2 squared is 4, a squared is just a squared, and b squared is b squared over 2ab squared. So remember what I said about the different colors. It might help if you use a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and use a different color. So I have 2 A's on the top and 2 B's on the top, 1 A on the bottom, and 2 B's on the bottom. So let's go ahead and take care of our coefficients. This 2 is going to become a 1. This 4 is going to become a 2. This A is going to cancel out just one of the A's, so 1A is going to be left over in the numerator. And the B squareds are going to cancel each other. So we're left with 2A over 1, which is just 2A. So those are some examples of how to divide monomials. I hope you all found this helpful, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.